Jim Henson's death was not expected, and the circumstances are stunning. He died of pneumonia after being admitted to a New York hospital with a massive bacterial infection. As doctors fought the infection for 15 hours, Henson went into cardiac arrest several times and finally succumbed. We begin tonight with his life. NBC's Stan Bernard.
Sunny day, sweeping the clouds away.
This was Jim Henson's breakthrough, the creation of the wonderful characters on Sesame Street.
But that's what a friend is, Bert.
The man who made the Muppets and so much more died suddenly in a New York hospital from what the doctors called a massive bacterial infection which attacked his lungs. Friends said Henson, as a child, watched Peter Pan fly, but always kept his eyes on the strings to see how it was done.
Performing was one of the things that was sort of farthest from my mind. I hated to stand up in front of the class and do anything at all. Kermit's pretty good. He can get away much better. He's much more comfortable than I am in front of an audience.
A joke? People want to think we're really engaged.
Am I the voice for
Jim?
The man?
Uh-huh.
Well, now you're getting very surrealistic. I've never understood the concept of alter ego in the first place.
The shy, soft-spoken Henson created characters out of foam rubber and wool and ping-pong balls and anything else that struck his fancy, and then added personalities and foibles.
It seems as though we never have a chance to be ourselves. And it seems as though the frog makes all my decisions for me.
Piggy, I don't make all your decisions for you.
I don't know if I can take it.
Piggy makes many of her own decisions.
He created the Muppets in the 1950s in Washington for the program Sam and Friends, and even made commercials.
Buddy, what do you think of Wilkins coffee? I never tasted it.
Sesame Street went on public television in 1969. It was aimed at children up to 5, teaching them basic English and arithmetic. But children of 55 also found themselves entertained and enlightened.
It was always a good idea because they were coming with the concept of doing educational and entertainment by means of television. And this is basically a good idea. But when it went on the air, it was an immediate hit, and I think that surprised everybody. It took us all by surprise, and it was delightful.
Delightful enough to grow to 15 international co-productions seen in 80 countries. Henson went from one extraordinary success to another. His Muppet Show, which is produced in England, became the most widely seen program in the world. 100 countries with 235 million viewers.
I do.
Last year, he sold his Muppet Company to Disney for an estimated $150 million.
I'm doing shows that I want to see. I'm hoping other people like to see them too.
It's not easy being green.
They did, and they will.
Having to spend each day.
But no one but Jim Henson can be Kermit. Stan Bernard, NBC News, New York.
It could be nicer being red or yellow or gold.
The circumstances of Jim Henson's death are so chilling that we've asked our chief science correspondent, Robert Bazell, to join us tonight, and it is a commentary on our times that we must ask the question. There's already speculation that it could have been AIDS. What have you been able to find out about that?
No, doctors at New York Hospital where he died say it definitely was not AIDS. It was pneumonia that had spread to a massive infection to his bloodstream and to his entire body.
In this day and age, can't doctors do more about that kind of an infection?
Well, not in his case, because apparently he had let it go so far that it became what used to be called galloping pneumonia in the old days. His kidneys were failing, his heart was failing, it was an infection to his entire body. By the time he got to the hospital, it was too late.
Jim Henson was a man who brought so much joy to the world, but in private he was a dedicated workaholic. So
indeed, that seems to be the main factor, that he had what he probably thought was the flu. He let it go too long, and if he had gotten medical attention 2 or 3 days ago, he'd be with us tonight.
An enormous loss tonight, the death of Jim Henson. Thank you very much, Robert Bazell, for coming in.